DLT Labs platform for our hackathon to develop our proposed solution for assay data tracking, and it was indeed very easy to use, and we got great support from DLT. So great to have you with us today, and looking forward to your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. And I understand it's about 20 minutes, so I'll try and keep it very, very focused. Can somebody let me know? Can you see the screen?
Oh, we can see you, not the screen. Oh, yeah, something is happening. Yeah, we can see the screen. Yeah.
Great. First slide should be saying where and why.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Loudon Owen. I'm the CEO and the chair of DLT Labs. And first and foremost, I come from a background where I certainly, and I think across DLT Labs, because we live in Canada, you can't help but have a pretty good understanding of the mining industry. As everybody knows, it's a vital industry. It contributes an enormous amount, and I'm just going to summarize my presentation up front with 4 or 5 key points. First of all, stewardship in the industry is not new. Stewardship of the economy, of the environment, of safe water, and any number of elements are integral to the mining industry. How to do it better is where blockchain steps in. And I would say at DLT, it's interestingly enough, the first place we started, which is cobalt in the Congo, and embracing blockchain-centric solutions to a wide range of ESG implementations. Now, it's not just a question at DLT of provenance and chain of custody. It's all about efficiency and efficiency across the industry. So we'll give you a sneak preview of what we're doing, and we're going to be talking about our lead partner in doing so. This will actually be the first time we're talking about it openly in a presentation or otherwise. And the company is Teck Resources, TECK Resources, which is Canada's largest diversified mining company. And what we'll talk about is a project we're doing together with a very large fiber optics company, which will be disclosed hopefully later this week or early next week. So, forgive the pun, but mining is certainly the bedrock of global industry. It is one of the most important and certainly one of the most misunderstood industries. And it's been operating for millennia. However, at the same time, it's been bombarded. The industry's faced a lot of very large media and social concerns.
Loudon,
Probably, yep.
great. Can you please go into the presentation mode? Sorry for interruption.
No, not at all. I was hoping I was in presentation mode. Can you see it now?
We can see a slide that says, "Happy birthday, DLT Labs."
Okay, well, happy birthday, DLT Labs. Thank you for sharing that. Let me go back and see if I can pull up the right screen.
Could be that you only shared a
here.
window instead of sharing the whole screen. And so then if you went into presentation mode, it pulled up a different window.
Okay, helpful. How's that?
There you go.
We're good? Okay, super. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nathan.
Appreciate it, Nathan. So this slide, as opposed to looking at me, or happy birthday, DLT, identifies kind of 4 elements here, which is a great deal of pressure on the ESG side, very complex logistics, and the top right shows across the world where the largest 40 mining companies are. Clearly, a host of unacceptable practices in certain jurisdictions and in certain, I would say, well, one is too many, but in a narrow portion of the industry. And of course, it's vital. And on the bottom right, what we're identifying is fiber optics. And of course, the emergence of electric vehicles. Now, I've spent probably 25 years in the industry. I'm still the chair of the largest ground geophysical services company, which is called Quantec. And wearing that hat, we brought very important deep imaging technology to industry. We measured down a kilometer to the billionth of the part to the billionth of the second. So quite familiar with the industry. And at the same time, I'm wearing a blockchain hat, which is the DLT Labs CEO. And it's very interesting what's happened in the industry. resources are not easy to find. Mother Nature is tricky. And so resources get deeper and deeper, costs go up, time goes up to find and extract resources. At the same time, of course, ESG, and prior to that, all the CSR, the corporate social responsibility requirements escalate. So with a very few exceptions, the industry is a price taker. This is an exception. It's an area where actually prices will reflect whether or not there's compliance with high standards, and high standards of chain of custody and high standards of ESG compliance. So it's a very, very important next step in the industry. If you look at what we're doing at Teck, we're working here with a metal, which is called germanium. And the example here, we're showing obviously a very small component of what we're doing, but it's the chain of custody with all of the ancillary information, all of the assays, and of course, all of the certifications tracked through to the plant where they're processed. And it comes from multiple locations. One of them is in a very important location in the Great North, so it's environmentally very sensitive. The processing occurs, and then it's a combination of tetrachloride and dioxide that is extracted at the end. And you'll be seeing, probably, as I mentioned, in about a week or perhaps less than a week, disclosure about this, where we're explaining that this is probably the first time at this sort of a scale and this level of detail, blockchain has been used for the chain of custody in a base metal. And it's again, we're very, very excited to be doing it with Teck. Teck has a fascinating background, by the way. It's a technology deep organization. They come from the geophysics world, and you can tell by the name, they're completely committed to the incorporation of technology in the resource business. And it's a diversified company with a wide range of resource activities. So how do we do it? This is just a very quick architecture, and it's very high level, talking about the approach we've taken to the blockchain architecture. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I think that would be overkill, especially in the space of a 10 or 20 minute presentation. But I think the message here is actually quite important, which is in looking behind the scenes, this is not a simple or trivial technology that is being deployed throughout industry. And what DLT has is a platform that enables rapid, consistent, and reliable development of solutions and applications. And the particular initiative with Teck is following our, and this is a high level architecture, I appreciate that. But for those people that are in the industry, the messaging here is actually quite important, which is we have to work with industry, and it has to integrate with existing legacy systems. So our approach is to ensure that in terms of the ability to work hand in hand seamlessly without a massive amount of change management is absolutely vital. And this is enterprise level, industrial grade technology. We do have the largest deployment of blockchain in the world in industry with our Fortune #1 client, which is Walmart. It's been in full production now for 2.5 years, actually close to 3 years. And it's in the supply chain management and supply chain payments area. So we're quite experienced. And for all of the blockchain enthusiasts, I can tell you one thing, it works. The technology is extraordinarily powerful. It's enabled the integration across a very wide range of partners. And the partners in that case are Walmart, together with a host of carriers, and it's Walmart Canada. And it's a national standard in Canada for managing third-party carriers. And terribly challenging industry because obviously they're mobile assets. It's a very large volume. It incorporates an incredibly significant amount of data across a wide range of systems. So it works. It will also work here. And industrial grade, scale, proven, and extremely agile because this is a no-code platform. So it's very rapid to develop. So in the continuing search for end-to-end solutions, we're very confident that this will continue to be a significant contribution. Now, this isn't sort of bragging about DLT. This is simply explaining the scale. And the second message for the hopefully many blockchain enthusiasts out there is that the growth is dramatic. One way that we are measuring the adoption of our particular platform is GDV, which is gross dollar value, the number of dollars that are processed through the platform and through our network. And it started out in 2018 with a very small amount. It seemed significant at the time, and we were pretty excited, but it was about $50,000 in the year. 2019 was supply chain finance, and that was with Walmart Canada. And this was really the production pilot where we were testing the flow of data and the payment presentment, where by the end of a delivery, you would be measuring how much was owing in terms of the invoice. And it's public information, but the original challenge was working with about, excuse me, 0% disputes over invoices. And now those have been, for the most part, entirely eliminated. It's going to be the same thing with tech and with their fiber optics partner, which is taking an incredibly significant and important data, managing it assiduously, ensuring that there is continuous synchronization throughout the process, and the results we think are going to be extremely compelling. Today, our pipeline is about $100 billion in terms of GDV. So the industry is growing significantly. Looking forward somewhat, the smart mining initiatives that this incorporates, and we believe this is the next generation of smart mining, which tech is working with on us. There are really a host of areas where it's going to be pretty exciting. And it's intriguing. NFTs have obviously hit the press and been in the news pretty well every day. Industrial NFTs, you know, every piece of data that we manage ultimately becomes an NFT. So there's a whole concept that we'll eventually be talking about industrial NFTs. And we've now, I think we can pretty confidently say we're as large as anybody, probably the largest, and have produced millions of industrial NFTs. We believe that at the heart of what is occurring here, whether it's in the mining industry or elsewhere, is really distributed data management. And as opposed to simply what people refer to as decentralized, it's distributed. And that's an extraordinarily powerful concept. We've seen the implications, we've experienced it, our clients and partners have experienced it. ESG, the host of ESG initiatives that are underway, we're still dealing with, and we've got important people presenting today, but we're still dealing with a wide range of compliance initiatives, challenges, and opportunities. And of course, that's one area where smart mining is going to become extraordinarily important. Mining in and of itself is great, but any mine faces challenges in terms of its economic viability. And a large part of that is the efficiency of the supply chain. So the work we have done in supply chain management is really part and parcel of what is required for an efficient system. And what I think is really important is that ESG alone, yes, it contributes a great deal to sustainability and to better corporate practices, and ultimately to consumer adoption and consumer acceptance, because this has to be driven by consumers. But ESG and cost efficiency should be great friends. They shouldn't be at odds with each other. The reason is that in order to achieve the highest levels of compliance, it requires very careful and effective data management. That in turn leads to much greater efficiency. So in our view, those are two sides of the same coin. And with greater efficiency comes dramatic and profound changes in the stewardship of the environment, in the capability of ensuring not simply that costs are contained, but that the amount of resources used are optimized. And that to me, and I think across DLT, we all feel the same way and share the same belief, is absolutely fundamental to the next generation of environmental stewardship. You'll see on the right side a truck. I'm not sure where the truck is going, but it's certainly got a number of messages there, which is Made in Canada is a big one. Canada, in the mornings when you get up in Canada and you turn on the news, this morning it'll be about our federal election, but shortly following that will be the prices of mineral resources and other natural resources. But the zero emissions and the future and heading in the direction that tech is heading in is pretty exciting. We're all very proud to be associated with it. So last slide, with 3 minutes to go. What we provide is indeed a platform, but the implication and the application of our platform is now a network, or look upon as a series of networks. And in terms of managing data, this slide is meant to demonstrate on the left side, it works across various enterprises. So to the extent that the mining industry is working together in trade finance, obviously it works in flowing through to the automotive industry and many others, industry generally, and of course in supply chain logistics. Our platform enables an ability to work with any blockchain, any infra, any cloud provider or multiple cloud providers. And in fact, we do this on a cloud basis or on-prem or on a hybrid basis. And on the right side, you'll see all of the various other elements of how we function with vendors. And that incorporates, of course, carriers and any OEM partners, strategics, any vendors, any other resources. We can integrate an unlimited amount of information. And as I mentioned, industrial grade, industrial scale, and it's been done. You'll also see, and again, there'll be an announcement coming out about this shortly, we have a very substantial partner in the payments industry, which is a gateway to any financing or any financial requirements, again, fully incorporated under the same umbrella. So that's a little bit of a snapshot about what we do at DLT. And looking at what we're doing with tech, just to reiterate, we're certainly very proud of the association with such an advanced and important mining group, but also the values that are enshrined at tech. And across industry, I've worked with artisanal miners. I've been in the field. I've got a great sensitivity to it. And it is an important area that everybody here who's working in the industry and across industry is committing to. I believe the future is indeed bright. I also think the future is integrated. And the integration results in much higher standards of production, cost efficiency, a better universe, and a more sustainable environment. So I've tried to hit it on the nose in 20 minutes. We look forward to working with any of you and would be more than delighted to explain how our platform works, how quickly, how efficiently, reliably,